Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Thank you guys for joining us. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome and come on in. Just give you guys a few seconds to get on in here. We are having a conversation today with the amazing Dr. Lakia Bailey, and we have Dominique Goodson on, and we're going to be talking all things consortium and partnering. I know y'all have seen the emails, the texts, well, not text, but y'all have seen the emails and the Facebook messages. We are talking about the consortium and partnering with us, how great it is to be a partner. And what are the benefits? What do you get out of it? Why in the world was the consortium even created? And we have the creator, well, the co creator of the Sickle Cell Consortium, who actually runs it day in and day out. Dr. Lakia Bailey is on here. Yes, I see people in the chat. Hello. Hi, Angel. Thank you for joining us. If you are here, please put in the chat. Say hi to us. Don't leave us hanging. I like participation. I like to see people. I like talking to people. Y'all know me. It is Sharonda. I am the Director of Operations here at the Sickle Cell Consortium, and we are here to take questions, and we are going to give you some cool, not long, but some answers to your questions today. As you see in the chat, it is all about the consortium today. We've had our weekly conversations with the consortium. This is not that. That will still happen on Wednesday, but we are here talking to Dr. Lakia Bailey about some things that you guys have been sending us messages about. Oh, I see. Yes. Hello. Hello. Hi, Kim. I see. I like when y'all talk back to me. Hello. Hi, so Shakira. Don't judge me. Miss Collins. Hello. How are you? Don't judge me. I might mess up your name, but I promise you, I appreciate you for being here. All right, Dr. Bay, let's get into it. We don't want to leave these people hanging. Foremost, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, first, Dr. Bailey, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself for those that do not know who you are, which I don't know who would that be, but if you could just introduce yourself, that would be great.
Okie dokie. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Lakia Bailey, one of the founders and the executive director of the Sickle Cell Community Consortium, Sickle Cell Consortium for short. I am excited to talk with you all today, and I usually tell people when I give them my outline that I am a research scientist that was trained in molecular hematology and regenerative medicine, and that I am an adult living with sickle cell disease. Glad to be here to talk with you all today.
Awesome. And we have our project manager slash dean of Warrior University here, Miss Dominique Goodson. Hi, Dominique. Introduce yourself to everyone, please.
Hi, everyone. I am Dominique Goodson, as Sharonda said, with her lovely and amazing introductions of both me and Dr. Bailey. I am the project lead project manager and dean of Warrior University. So happy to be here with you guys today and to be talking about partnering with the consortium. So thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. So I'm going to hit it back to Dr. Bailey. She's going to give us some information. I tell you, I'm getting messages, emails. You guys have questions. You're wondering about the consortium. Miss Kimberly Hobbs said, hello, Dr. Bailey, with lots of hearts. um, Thank you guys for showing her some love. So we're going to talk to Dr. Bailey. She's going to give us some information. Now, if you have questions while she's talking, just put it in the chat. And as you can see, I can throw it up on the screen so we all can see what the question is, and maybe she can answer it for you. So she's going to talk a little bit about the consortium. So let's get that started, Dr. Bailey.
All right. Well, hey there, y'all. I think the first important thing to say and to let you all know is that we are right up on a deadline for partnering. So that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation right now, to get some more questions answered and let you all know. So what am I talking about? The Sickle Cell Consortium. We are a network of sickle cell patients, caregivers, and community-based organizations throughout the country and outside of it. We've got a number of international partners now. And well, we're working towards fully integrating our international partners. And the whole point and the goal and the purpose was, we have this unofficial motto, nothing for us without us. We believe that The sickle cell patient and caregiver is the single most important voice in the room, and therefore should be a part of every major conversation. And by that, I mean research, legislation, advocacy, awareness, policy, all of the things that involve sickle cell, patients and caregivers should be at the center of it. And so we work by partnering with other community-based organizations throughout the country and outside of it. And we come together once a year to outline our priorities, to determine our projects, platforms, and initiatives. And then we develop solutions for them. We provide training. It's about bringing us all together so that we are all on a playing level field so that we can really institute change in the sickle cell space. And so that's really what partnering is. We're not a membership based entity. It's not about being a member and having a membership dues, or everyone in the consortium retains their individual autonomy. What that means is all the CBOs run their own organizations. The independent caregivers and patients that are advocates are out there doing their thing. The consortium is a way to pull us all together on one page to provide research, updates, to make sure we provide a platform for us to answer or address concerns and issues we have in this space. So our partners all come together and we work together to address problems, needs, gaps that we collectively identify in this space. I think currently we have about 30, maybe a few more, because there's about 6 JCBO. So I'm going to guess we've got nearly 40 organizations that have previously joined us. We've got a number of organizations that are joining us now, so that number will increase. And then we've got independent patients and caregivers. So that's sort of like an overview. When we talk about credentialing, you might have seen the word credentialing floating around. That's the process of becoming a partner. It means that you are working in this space, you are active or want to become active, and you recognize the importance of collaboration. And that's a really important distinction that we have to make. Everything we do at the consortium is done as a collective. And so there's always at least 2 or 3 different CBOs working on something. There's a patient or a caregiver at the center of that as the project manager. We then work with community organizations. We work with government and pharma. But our community, we work collaboratively. And so I think that's one of the first important points. If you're interested in partnering, if you are a partner, the first thing you need to know is that you will be working in collaboration with others. There's nothing that is done by a single entity. All of our publications, everything we do in a collaboration with several others. So that may not be the way some people would prefer to work. I know a lot of us, we probably got burned in high school and college with group projects, and a lot of people would rather not work in a collective. And that is one of the first mandates of the consortium, is that we work as a collective. The whole process of credentialing is really just a process of bringing us all together and saying, all right, you have an organization. What's your mission? Is your mission for sickle cell? If so, yes, great. Then you are welcome and invited to partner with us. And are you doing with the money you raise what you say? Are you in compliance with the IRS? Do you need help to get into compliance? What training can we offer you? That's what credentialing looks like. Or if you don't have your 501c3 yet, but you're working on it, we provide the training so that within 2 to 3 years, you are a full 501c3. And then you graduate from a junior CBO to a full CBO. But also, if you're a patient or a caregiver in this space, and you're not part of the executive leadership of an existing organization, but you are an advocate, you talk about sickle cell, you go to health fairs or want to go to health fairs, you share your story, you are out there actively advocating in this space as a patient or caregiver, then that's what we call IPCAs. And so we've got lots of information. There's lots of other videos that go all into the details of this. If you've ever listened to, or you can go back and listen to any of our State of the Consortium addresses, that goes into it a lot more. All of that is out there. I think today what I really want to talk to you about is why we're organized this way. why we're doing it the way that we are, and what has it accomplished, and what can you hope to accomplish by partnering. So partnership is, so before I go into that, Sharonda, do you want me to pause? Are you going to pop questions up, or will they be in the chat here if anybody asks any? What will that bit look like?
Well, we actually are going to pop some questions in the chat up here so you can see them. I don't see any questions right now. People are just giving you love and saying, hello, Dr. Bailey. Good to see you. Now, I'm glad she paused here so I can tell you guys, if you have any questions while you're listening to her, just put them down in the chat. We want to make sure that you guys have the information. Now, one question that came to me to my inbox is, can you apply and not have a long resume if you are an IPCA?
Absolutely. So Dominique is here, and she's chair of credentialing committee. So let me take a step back and say what that is. The consortium was designed to actually be a collective, and the organization itself to be ran by patients and caregivers, and then all of the different things we do to be ran by patients and caregivers. So we've got infrastructure committees, and each of those committees are responsible for various decision-making parts of the consortium. There's a credentialing committee, which is just that committee that reviews all of the partnership applications that come in. An application really isn't the right word. You're not applying so much as providing the paperwork to show that you are in this space and that you are consenting and desiring to be a part of this collective. So they meet annually, around the year, to review the paperwork for people who partner. Now, IPCAs, we know that in the last 2 years, you all have been on lockdown, and there hasn't been a lot of opportunities to grow your resume. We recognize that.
Yeah.
So, it's absolutely okay if yours is short. Honestly, it's okay if it's barely non-existent. If your involvement is that you've been to a previous convention, or you actively want to get involved in this space, you wrote high school paper about it, you talked to your friends, all of that basic community outreach. What we're really looking for in that advocacy resume is just, we want to make sure we're partnered with people who are serious about this. And so if you don't, you can say, I am just starting this space. This advocacy resume is very short. It's sort of empty, but there's a question: why do you want to partner? There are questions that help tease out that. Our whole goal here is just to make sure our partners are people who really want to get involved and really want to be active in this space. And I promise you, there will be plenty of things to put on that resume leading forward. Your credentialing committees, the things that you go to, the things you speak at on behalf of the consortium. There's going to be a lot of stuff you can add after you partner. So if there's not much now, that's okay. And
Yeah.
if there was anything, but there's been nothing new since 2019, we get that as well. You can resubmit that same one, because we haven't been able to go out and be active in that capacity. If I can, though, take a little bit of a digression real quick, I do want to let you all know that this is not like a job resume. An advocacy resume is different in that, what are the meetings you've attended? Did you speak at or attend FSCDR last year? Did you come to our convention? Did you present on one of our patient panels? Put that on there. If you're an existing partner, which committee are you on? Put that on there. If you're chair of that committee, put that on there. All of those kinds of things that you are doing. If you went and talked at your church about sickle cell, you hosted a blood drive for your fraternity or sorority, all of that is active work. We are not defining advocacy as solely political legislative advocacy. We are defining this as education, awareness, and advocacy in legislative field, yes, but also in health advocacy, patient advocacy, basic education, and awareness. So you can write out the things that you did to spread awareness in sickle cell. All of that can help build your advocacy resume. And we've got classes that have already come out, and we've got the recordings that show you information on how to grow that, how to outline it, how it can look. all of that. I believe there's also a template available. At least one was available back in 2020, and I believe it was based off of Shamonica's advocacy resume.
Yes, there is a template if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and a video on how to make the advocacy resume as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And you can find that on our YouTube ? Sharonda?
Question mark. I will find out, but I believe it is there. But I will find out.
All right. We got a really cool thing we're launching soon, y'all. And the Warrior Network is going to be one place to find a lot of stuff. But right now, I think you can find a lot of the stuff on our YouTube. So that was a lot of words to say yes. It can be very, very short or non-existent.
No, that was good details though, because I have had that message and people are like, well, I can't be a part of this because this is a national thing and I don't have a resume. I'm like, we are made up of so many organizations that are just now starting. We even have things called JCBO. So like you can be a part of it. Don't feel pressure to, have to give us, oh, we've spoke here and nationally there. Like Dr. Bailey said, if you spoke at your church about sickle cell, you are doing some advocacy work because somebody in that audience did not know about it and you brought awareness to it, and that's advocacy. That's literally the definition of advocacy, is bringing awareness to something, or helping to help somebody in a situation. Like if I'm advocating, like my sister is my biggest advocate at the hospital when I'm not feeling good. If you did that, child, you are seriously an advocate. Caregivers, now y'all, that's a whole nother situation. Y'all are advocates, and we'll talk about that later in a different time, but we have a whole event called the Caregiver Summit, so be on the lookout about that. Digression. Somebody said on here, Dr. Bailey, I want in and help with my resume. Kimberly, I'm going to send you the link right now. You can get in, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Sending the link.
And do the best you can for the resume right now. And then once you start coming to the events and the Leadership Summit and the Warrior Universities, you'll get lots of help in making it look better. Right now, we're not grading this. We're not looking for a perfected advocacy. We're just looking for individuals who are active or want to be active in this space. And, I kind of feel like we should digress for a second and talk about, what if you really want to get involved, but you don't have much to say?
Yeah.
First, I would encourage you to think carefully. Are you sure you're not already advocating in some capacity? Do you advocate for another warrior when they're sick? Have you provided education in some capacity to others? I'll bet most of you have. But if you feel like you haven't, then just say so. Outline the beginnings of an advocacy resume, but you can just say, I do not have an updated advocacy resume or resume to submit at this time. However, this is why I want to be a partner. This is what I want to do. And that is considered as well. All of that is looked at, right, Dominique? She made a
Yes, all of that is looked at. We do ask for you to put in your Facebook, your Twitter, and your LinkedIn if you have it. We look at that because, as Dr. Bailey said, it's not just about speaking at the national conferences or things. It's actually about the little things that we do that plays a major part in our warriors' lives. Whether you're at the hospital and you're advocating for a warrior that's getting bad treatment, or you're helping another warrior get food because of whatever the case may be. But the littlest things that you think that might actually don't count as advocating is actually advocating. And you can put that on your advocacy resume. So please use everything that you have done this year. And I don't think Dr. Bailey said it, but we are, because it wasn't a lot going on, we are accepting resumes from 2021, 2022, 2021 for IPCAs. So, and you could just upgrade it to with what you did with this year, and it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you guys put that stuff in there also.
Yeah, exactly. Says Kimberly Hobbs, it looks like, had a comment before that was highlighted there, something about South Carolina.
Yes.
South, the sickle cell of North Alabama needs to be reconstructed and brought back to life.
Yes.
All right, join us. Let's work on that.
And the link is right below, Kimberly. It's the tinyurl.com/SC3 partner. Go ahead and fill that out. Now, if you got questions about it or you have questions about anything, send us a message. And I will put the credentialing email in the chat as well. But ask away. Don't let it deter you from being a part of this because of those questions there. If there's something you do not know, ask the question to us. Send us an email, send us a message through chat or anything. Don't let that deter you from being part of this amazing organization, because you get to network with other organizations. There's so many partner perks. I won't even go into them right now because I'm digressing as well. But we have, and you should see the flyers that we've been posting. I'm sure you guys have, but there's on there is power in partnership. Dr. Bailey came up with the list of things because I was like, what are the benefits? I need to tell the people what the benefits are. And Dr. Bailey was like, well, first of all, there is power in partnership. And if you think about it, when you do something really big and you have everybody coming together to push something forward, the more the people, especially if it's a stall car, the more the people, you can push that car so quick and you don't have to even exert so much energy if you come together and do the work together. We are all about collaboration. So come on in. We will help you and assist you and get North Alabama on track. You hear me? I'm serious. Now sit and get the link. Kimberly, I'm going to send it to your messenger too. I'm sorry, Dr. Bailey. Continue on.
No problem. So I think that is the next part then. Let's get into me talking about that. So what was the point? Why did we create this consortium? And it had been a conversation that we were having with a lot of different advocates over the years. And it had come up many times. And our goal, our desire was to provide a platform where the patients felt empowered and had a voice in dictating and running an organization, but also providing a platform to ensure that the things that we outline, the things that community sees as a problem, as a need, as a gap, we could then work together to address. And those of you that have been around since the beginning, you would have heard me as we were launching this and as I was going through and creating the documents and building the consortium, you would have potentially heard me talk about helplessness and learned helplessness. Because one of the main things here was that the realization that helplessness is learned. And when you are living with a chronic illness, you're often here, you can't. And you shouldn't, and don't do this and don't do that, and sit down and you are helpless. But if helplessness is learned, and that means helplessness can be unlearned. And our goal here was to push out of that and say, this is our road. Sometimes people would say, stay in your lane. But the problem with that is, this is our highway. Patients, we own this highway. We deign to allow others drive in these lanes. And so we can take control. We can be the ones in having the authority to dictate. This is the research we want to see. This is the legislation that we need. Here is what we would like to do for transition, for mental health, for men, for our young adults, for our children, for our next generation, our teens. This is what we recognize as our need. So the consortium was created to provide a platform to help address that need. And in that way, we've been able to do some amazing things. I was thinking about it recently, and we've done smaller projects. We've worked with different organizations and patients to create literature. I wish I could just grab some and show you right now. I thought I had some right here. I might actually. We've been able to do much bigger things, like go through and say stuff like the Caregiver Summit. Last year was the first. Caregivers came to us at the end of 2019. It was like, these conventions are great, but there we go. Caregiver Hospital Guide. The caregivers. So Dominique, I'm going to bring it back up to you so you could make her big and show those in 1 second, Sharonda. So that caregiver was a good example of that, though. And then when we realized we wanted to do it, but wanted to do it big, and Carly came in, she's a caregiver, as the project manager, and put together a budget. And it was a big budget. It was a 6-figure budget. But we can say, all right, y'all, let's work together and make this happen. got the budget, and executed the Caregiver Summit. By working together, identifying the things we need, pulling all our resources together, and all of us working together in this space, we have been able to do some absolutely amazing things. And that to me is the power of partnership. It's the power of collectively working together, letting patients, caregivers, and CBOs say, here are the issues that I've addressed. Here is what I see this community needs nationally, globally, or just in my city, in my state. And then we can connect and make that happen. One of the first projects that we really did after we combined as an entity, well, the very first thing we did was we took a lot of people to Advocacy Day that SCDAA held, and then we took a bunch of people to SCDAA's convention. That was our first activity as an entity. And then our first main project was the Guide to Living with Sickle Cell publication in English and Spanish. And we did that in partnership with Bold Lips for Sickle Cell and Sickle Cell 101. And they came together. And then we worked with I think it was over 200 altogether, patients and caregivers that came together to write those books, design them. We got the funding for it. And then we got them created, translated, and shipped out. We cold shipped big packages of this to every hospital and clinic that the community said they wanted it to go to. There was a form, they put it in. I want it to go to this doctor, this hospital. And we just cold shipped them all with instructions for how to order more if they wanted them. So shall we make Dominique bigger? And let's show you guys some of these cool publications.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So those right there was the very first we did. Define yourself, define your life. And it was all about a guide to living with sickle cell disease written by sickle cell disease patients.
And they still one in Spanish and one in English.
And we're working on getting some more translations to these. Ooh, this one was fun. So we did this in collaboration with Demetrius Wyatt and the Consortium. And he was our prom king in 2019. Yeah, because we haven't been in person since. He was voted prom king at our prom. And this was his platform, Priapism. And so this is now available, and it goes out and he ships it and we ship it to men and warriors and parents with male warriors to talk all about that. This was cool. So this was Blood and Marrow. We did this in partnership with STAR, Sickle Transplant Alliance Research Group, and Be the Match to create that one. And there's another one coming out that's provider facing. This was the Caregiver Guide. And that came out last year, and there's lots of fantastic information at that with a website that goes along that for resources.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
I think those are the only ones I have.
Oh, the school one. Sickle Cell and School Policy and the School Policy COVID edition. Dominique might not have that one. I probably have it in my bookshelf behind me. But that was also a very
wait, I have it. Sorry. This one?
There it is.
Yep, that's it.
And that's the COVID edition. And that's that one came from our parent to parent. Lisa Rose was project manager there, and the parents with the parent to parent group. And all of these are just examples of how the community worked together. And the way that came about was this sickle cell community, patients and caregivers saying, we don't see enough materials when we go into our doctor's offices. So a proposal was written, we got it funded, and we started creating these. We call them patient-powered, MD reviewed, which means that we write them as the community, but then it goes to our medical research advisory board to review it. So those are some cool examples of some of the publications we've done. I've got a little bit of an echo. I don't know if you all can hear it. But that's just some of the reasons that the partnership is so powerful. It allows us to all work together on things. Those publications are an example, and there's a couple more coming out next. We've got these cool events. And so what does it mean? What does it mean when we say partner? Well, there are a couple of requirements. So no one is turned away during the credentialing process unless there is, the only one that has ever been turned away was an organization that really wasn't a sickle cell organization, but was raising a great deal of money for sickle cell, and then could not point to a single project, a single outreach, a single anything for sickle cell. And it became apparent with review that the money was being raised for sickle cell and then funneled into the individual's private public speaking business. That one, of course, couldn't pass credentialing. But that is a rare example of fraud that I don't even think this entity exists anymore. But for the most part, anyone that's working in this space can join us as a partner. Any independent patient caregiver can join us as a partner. There are some things that might, and I don't think it's ever happened yet, but that could get you asked, or we have an ethics committee and overview and ethics. If there's something that's going on, sharing a lot of intentionally false information, there's a whole guideline that committee follows for if someone needs to be, maybe not a partner. But that's never happened so far. And so we are open to anyone in this space who wants to join, who wants to work collectively. Once that happens, every partner is asked to serve on one of the 10 infrastructure committees. So that's like marketing or fundraising or account. What are some of this? Credentialing or the SC3 Next Gen. Those are our younger warriors, 16 and under, or be part of the Mental Health and Wellness Initiative, or one of the 10 main infrastructure committees. You are also then asked to come to the Leadership Summit once a year. Because the Leadership Summit is mandatory for partners, when we were in person, it was free to attend. We covered flights and hotels. And now that we're virtual, the registration is free for all partners. Once we go back in person, it'll be flights and hotels and bringing us all together again. It is mandated. It is the most important meeting of our entity organization. It is our business meeting. It's where we provide all the training. It's where we prioritize. We open the docket, and our General Assembly meets to determine what are the issues that we see and how do we intend to solve them. We vote. Everyone's vote is weighted equally. So if you're a very large CBO with millions in federal funding, which we've got partners like that, or a very small CBO that operates solely through internet and social media, but you are operating in sickle space, your vote is just as important. If you're an independent patient and caregiver, we work to balance it so the CBO voice is equally balanced with IPCAs. And that way, all voices are weighted and balanced. You each retain your autonomy, but your vote to determine what are our priorities are equally weighted. So that's one of the main reasons why this meeting is mandatory for all partners. So those are the two big things. Then we provide a lot. There'll be Warrior University classes. So let's say you say, I choose my concentration as patient advocacy. Well, then we funnel you to a training series in patient advocacy. And you can then participate in that training, get the education that you need. Once you complete your training, once you've been to some of these mandatory classes, and there's a few of them, they're not mandatory in that you absolutely have to, but they are if you want to be classified as a particular advocate type. You go through the classes, we send you your business cards, we send out publications, all the ones Dominique just showed. All of our partners are getting those this year. It is, however, so important that in order to get that package, in order to get it in time for the Leadership Summit, to attend the summit, to have everything you need, existing partners must re-credential by today. And new partners have until Monday, which I think is April 4th. And so what that means is if you're a community-based org and you've already partnered with us, double check that you have been getting our emails. Because if you haven't been getting our emails, it most likely means that you didn't re-credential in 2020 and your name fell off of the list. After that, the partnership became every 5 years. So no CBO who's been getting our emails, who's been coming to the monthly partner meetings, who sees our information, has to do anything this year. Not right now, not until it's time to file taxes. So if you're a community-based organization, there's nothing for you to do to still be a full partner in good standing. If you're not sure, email credentialing, Dominique Goodson at credentialing@sicklecellconsortium.org and double check. We need to have all of that done so we can send your packages out. Now, if you are an SPO, and right now we only have the one, we are working directly with that group because we're their sponsor. But you can have a sponsor, and you have until Monday to send us that paperwork to let us know I'm coming in as an SPO. What that means is a sponsored patient org, like a focus, not a focus group, like a support group.
Support group, yes.
Yeah, like a support group with a hospital. There's a group that's in Nevada, California or Nevada, that they're made up of parents that they don't want to become a 501c3, but they've been talking to me about joining as an SPO, and they have a sponsor of the local hospital. And so those are groups that don't want to be a 501c3, but are actively working as a group to do things in the sickle cell space. Then there's JCBOs, not a 501c3 yet. And for our internationals who might watch this now or be watching later, that's just an NPO, a nonprofit organization. Here, they have to get it a 501c3, and I know it's called different things in different countries. But to be an NPO, they want to become a fully certified NPO or nonprofit organization, but they haven't completed their 501c3 yet. They haven't completed the paperwork. That group is called JCBOs. All existing ones need to update their information annually to tell us how they're going towards their procedure, towards the goal of becoming a full CBO. SPOs update their sponsorship information. CBOs existing, there's nothing for you to do right now, but if you haven't been receiving our emails, it's possible that you're no longer on our list. We need you to send an email over to credentialing and let Dominique know. And then if you're brand new, you just visit the website. There's a tiny URL that's been posted, or the long one is sicklecellconsortium.org/become-a-partner. Complete the paperwork, and you do have to do it ASAP in order to receive your partner packages in time. And then that partnership also grants all of our partners access to various things: software, meetings, the ability to give out scholarships to our Warriors Convention, to our Caregiver Summit. It comes with grants. We give out internal grants now. We give for events, our partners that are hosting events. The Sickle Cell Consortium will support that event up to $500. We give out internal grants. We do a lot of training, Warrior University. Things that might cost non-partners are free to partners, like hosting a booth, or there's a very minimum cost associated with it. There's a lot that comes with being a partner, but there's a lot that's also expected, specifically being active and helping us work together to address the community and address problems, needs, and gaps. So that's what it looks like. It's amazing because it has enabled us to get a lot done. We have been able to send all kinds of books to all the children. We've been able to send tablets and computers to our school-age children. We've done that 2 or 3 years now. 2. We did it 2020, 2021, and we're doing it again 2022. It enables us to do a lot. The groups that you work with have access to a lot of our support through you as a partner. But it's incredibly important, and I think it's very powerful what we've been able to accomplish in the few years that we've been here, which is, what are we, 6, going on age 7? Yep. And in those years, there's been some amazing things that have happened. So, you want a partner? You know what I just thought, that TikTok sound. You want a bumba? You want a G with the big boys? You want a partner? We do need that information as soon as possible. We've got to get it in. Partnership is rolling. You can partner later, but you won't have partnered in time to get the partner packages if it's not done by tonight, 11:59 for existing partners, or Monday for new partners. All right. Is that it? Anything else I need to talk about?
No, that was
Mhm.
great. I had up there for a few moments the power of partnership flyer that we did, because it really kind of explains a lot of the perks. Now, it's not all of them, but just some things that are on here. And so one of the things that I wanted to kind of go back to, which is define S3 annual priorities. That is something that is so important, because when we're talking about priorities, we're talking about things that the entire community wants. Like, everybody comes together and they get to vote on, what we're going to be doing, whether it's a national campaign or, the books that we did, the Dr. Bailey with the publications. Like, so we get to vote. Our voice is really heard. And I know oftentimes we hear, oh, let your voice be heard, do this survey, do this, do that. Well, one thing I want to remind you is, or maybe it's not a reminder and this is just a notice, that if you do partner with the consortium, there is work. Everything is not done by the team, the staff. It is a partnership, which means you got to come on in, roll up them sleeves, and let's get some work done. And so I wanted to remind you guys of that, because though you see all of these great things that we're doing, that is not to say that it just poof comes up. There's some work to be done. And those of you that have been advocating for years know exactly what I'm talking about. And those that are new to it, we're not saying we, slave drivers and nothing. We're not going to hit you on the back, but there is some work to be done. And with your help, we can go ahead and start moving that needle forward even more. And one person that I heard talk about the consortium and how we've been, taking those subjects and those topics that other people are not talking about, or not, trying to put their hands in. Well, the consortium is probably doing it, or probably a part of it in a partnership with somebody else. So please know that your ideas are not, small. Every idea that you bring to us, it's not that, because some ideas we can't do just yet, or we have priorities to do something else, but that doesn't mean we can't get to your project later. So don't feel defeated. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, I came and I couldn't do this and I didn't do that. No, we're working together as a team and we'll help you. Like, if you need some resources, like Dr. Bailey said, that's our goal. Our whole thing is come, partner, and let's move the needle forward. So, and it's the voice of the patient is in everything, at every table. That is one of the major things that we try to push forward to, is that every table that you are part of or that you hear about, make sure you get sickle cell in those tables, at those meetings. That's what we're trying to do. Make sure that we have representation everywhere that we need to be represented, because we as a team can't be everywhere. So you guys have to do that part. And our job is just to train and get you ready for those conversations that has to be had in your state, in your city, in your region. That's my spiel. Dr. Bailey, you did so good talking about all of the things about the consortium and how it was first created. And yes, y'all, we are six. And at six, we done already did a movie.
That's
I
true.
mean, we done had, like, major events come up. Like, we've done some things at 6 years old. So, don't count us out around these parts. We doing some things, but we do it because you guys are working with us and partnering with us. So we're so grateful to all of our partners that we've had, and we are looking forward to meeting our new partners and families and friends, because when we come to our conventions, it's like a family reunion. We've had kids that's grown up with each other, and
Yeah,
even
I
my
love
nephews, they're
that.
like, I miss my friends. When I'm going to see my friends, and so it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling to have a community like this.
I love that. I love that. And that the kids really learn and they look forward to it. I can't wait till we're in person again. It's going to be fantastic. And we already have so many cool
Oh,
ideas.
we do.
It's be so good. I can't wait.
We do. And the kids, man, I'm going to the kids track just for a few hours, because man, their track is going to be awesome. But
I'm
we have,
excited.
don't, and if you are a male on here, y'all, we are not forgetting you men. Like, we have a whole track talking to the men. Now, that's for convention. This is not for that live, but I saw a few guys pop up on here and you see all these ladies talking. But I promise you, we got something for men. We got something for you guys. We have not left you out. I promise you. So come on, you can be a partner too. Brothers, uncles, yes, you guys can come on in. We would love to have you.
Yes.
So,
There's a video somewhere of Jonathan. I love that
oh
video. He was like,
yes,
brothers, come on out. Let's talk about this. It was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, caregivers, the male caregivers showed out. They came on in. Now I don't see any questions in these chats. Y'all good? Y'all have questions? Y'all still hanging with us, but ain't nobody talking back to me. We good? Are y'all shy tonight? It's Monday night. It's Monday. I get it. You're probably eating dinner. And I'm just saying, you probably just listening, you want to hear us. I have a question right here. Sorry, just clarifying. Which website should Andre and I reapply to become a partner? All right.
Pretty
So
sure we have your information, Cynthia and Andre. I could be wrong, but I feel almost 100% certain that I've seen yours come through.
what happened is theirs came. Well, we do. I have sent you a message, Miss Cynthia. I'm going to send you the link to it. I did check with Dominique, and I know she's going to email you tonight as well to get what she needs from you. So there was some, and this is why we extended it. There was some technical difficulties on our website last week or the week before when people were applying, and so are sending in your information. So please, if she sends you an email back and says she needs A, B, and C from you, just go ahead and send her over that information. We apologize for those technical difficulties, but we definitely extended it so that those that were trying to become a partner could do so. So, Miss Cynthia, we are going to get on that and make sure that you are all good on your end. Kimberly, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed talking to us. Hey, thank you. Don't forget to push that button.
I have got to hop off.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
But I will be here to answer your questions. I can talk to you all and chat, but I've got to hop off for right now.
Yes, ma'am.
My peoples.
Yes, ma'am.
But I enjoyed this, and I hope I explained some of that stuff. Tell your friends, tell everybody that you think would be good in this active advocacy space, because we have till Monday. You can still partner afterwards. Just to be clear, you can partner all year long, but you have until Monday in order to get the package in time for the Leadership Summit.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for explaining things to us, Dr. Bailey. We really appreciate it. I love when you come on because you know how to get to the meat and potatoes of things. So thank you so much. All right, Dominique is back. So guys, if you have any last minute questions, please let me know in the chat. We're going to be here for another 1 to 2 minutes answering any questions. Now, Miss Cynthia, Dominique is here. She sent you over her email. And so Dominique is probably going to send you a message because we definitely want you and your husband to come on and be a partner. I know you guys were a part of the MBCI project. Whew. Thank you for coming in and being a part of that. We really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to Kimberly for staying with us, because honey, you have stayed our entire time listening to us talk, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. We enjoyed having you here with all of your questions. I said that you are excited. I am too. I can't wait till we get in person so I can meet you and just give you a big old Texas hug. Yup, I am from Texas, y'all. We are from everywhere. Dominique is in Jersey and Dr. Bailey is in Atlanta. So I can't wait to meet everyone. I know I hate that we are not in person, but I'm glad that we found a way.
Hopefully we will be next year.
Yeah, I'm glad that we found a way, though, to contact and stay in communication. Now, while we're here, hey, Miss Collins. Yes, when I meet you, I'm gonna give you a Texas hug too. Sure will. So y'all, I want to make a mention that not next year, but we are having the Leadership Summit. And so I want to make sure that you guys know about that. And that's one of the reasons why we are making sure we got to get that deadline of you guys partnering so that you can come and be a part of the Leadership Summit. And Dr. Bailey was talking about that a few minutes ago. And so I wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what we were talking about. And then the Leadership Summit is, let me get the days for you. It is from, what did I say? April 28th through May 30th. Is that right? No, May 1st. Baby, that's a whole month. What is happening, Sharonda?
No, it's April. It's April
You just hear me?
20th
I'm talking about a whole month.
through April 30th. You made it an entire month. I think that would be fun, but that's not what we do.
No, it's from April 28th to May 1st. And May 1st, the reason why, and on a lot of stuff, you see April 20th to April 30th, because that's when it's to the public. But on May 1st, it is only for the partners, and that's our business meeting. So that's where the confusion came from. But I think we got it now, Dominique.
Yes.
So April 28th through May 1st is when the Leadership Summit is. So don't forget, the link is in the bio. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for participating. Dominique, do you have anything? I just been talking. Do you have anything you want to tell the people before we leave?
Nope. You and Dr. Bailey pretty much said it all. If you guys have any questions or any concerns when it comes to partnering, or if you do not know if you have partnered or not, please email credentialing at sicklecellconsortium.org, and I will respond to you within a day. So please do that if you have any concerns. But that is all.
Okay. Thank you, Dominique. And thank you again to Dr. Bailey for telling us and breaking things down for us. She is so good for that. We call her our pocket nerd because, listen, if you need something, she can give you a breakdown on it. So
Yes.
thank you guys again. Have an amazing night and a great weekend. Oh, I'm sorry, great week. I'm already to the weekend. Don't judge me, honey. Listen. So have a great week. And again, if you have any questions, send us a message, send us a smoke screen. Let us know what you need from us as the community. And we are super, super glad that we are leaders in this space and here to help and assist and train new advocates coming up. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.